Hi guys, I'm Refashioned Hippie and I want to talk to you today about something that affects all of us, which is thrift stores and why they are raising their prices. If you have been shopping thrift at all, you know that those prices have been going up, 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 up. I spent about a decade working in retail, so I can tell you why that's been happening in some places. First, I think it's important that you know thrift stores only put out a very small amount of the donations they receive, most between 10 to 15%. And the reason for that will not surprise you. I have here something that I thought was really good quality until I found this stain on the front of it. Now, it's a tiny little stain, but still, that makes it completely unsaleable, right? So even though this would probably come out in a single wash, a thrift store would have to get rid of this. So they go through 90% of their stock and find issues like that. Stuff in crotches, stuff in underarms, things that are missing buttons or zippers that have popped. There's a lot of stuff that they have to get rid of, and not just otherwise good clothing donations. Take a look at this. So these are real pictures that I took at a donation bin when I was dropping off some stuff for myself. Obviously, that's not what those bins are for, right? But that is trash that they are going to have to accept. They are going to have to sort it, and they are going to have to throw it out. And that takes a couple different steps. The sorting it means they have to pay employees to do it. The throwing it out means that they're going to have to pay to either take it to a dump or, more likely, pay to get rid of a dumpster full of trash. That happens a lot, and those dumpsters can really add up. So thrift stores, unfortunately, have to deal with a lot of trash, and sorting through that trash can get expensive, which makes them raise their prices. The other thing to know about thrift stores is they don't have a lot of storage space. Just like you or I, we might get a good looking piece in, but just not be able to keep it because it's the wrong season. For example, these are two great Christmas items. They're both men's. I love them. I have been storing these since about June when they were donated to me. If a thrift store got these in June, they would have to throw them out. They don't have the room to store them. Even though this is perfect Christmas stuff, they cannot hold on to it until October, November. So thrift stores have to get rid of a lot of stuff that otherwise would seem really, really good because they just don't have the storage space for it. And it's also important to remember that donating is an anonymous process. So I have found some truly crazy stuff in donations because people just give you a trash bag and then they drive away. So we found drugs, we found a lot of porn, like a crazy amount of porn. But we also found the remains of an entire chicken dinner. Someone started filling a bag with nicely folded clothing, and then it seems like to finish off the bag, they put in used underwear and used socks. And then because there was already trash in the bag, they just scooped the remains of a chicken dinner, including the carcass of a chicken, into the bag. That happens a lot too. Because donations are anonymous, you get a lot of weird stuff. Thrift stores also have to purge a lot of the items that don't sell. So most of them have a tag system, right? Like if it's a blue tag, then it's new and it's been here for a week. If it's an orange tag, it's been here for 2 weeks, so it's 15% off, whatever it is. At the end of whatever that cycle is, they have to purge those racks and get rid of that clothing. So even clothing that was in really great condition and was in that 10% of really good stuff they want to put out, if it didn't sell, they have to move it out. So that is also a costly process. If you have to pay 5 people an hour long to do that every week, those costs add up. And the last thing that you should know is, unfortunately, every price is rising, right? I mean, everything is raising. Every grocery store, inflation, no one's immune to inflation, especially your smaller local stores. It's an unfortunate part of business that costs will rise. I do want to just remind you, the people who work in those stores are real people, and the girl who's running the register at 2nd Avenue does not set corporate policy. So please just remember, be kind to your retail workers. And there are a lot of great ways to get inventory that don't involve thrift stores. For example, about 90% of my inventory comes from donations because I tell people what I do. I love talking about what I do. So if you ever have questions about how to start that conversation with someone, there's a lot of chapters in my book. I talk about alternative sourcing there. And please feel free to hit me up anytime on Instagram at refashionedhippie. I love this business. I love the freedom it gives me. If I can help you at all, I would love to. Please let me know. But be kind to your thrift employees. They're people too. Okay, bye guys.